We're just out listening to the birds chirping away in the sun shine. Despite the fact there's other elements up there blocking the sun, the damage again is done. You know, we can still try and enjoy something of the afternoon, folks. I'm thinking about the people that went along to get along and bit the tongue. I'm thinking about the people that are still going along, biting the tongue to get along. I'm thinking about the people that got sick and died. I'm thinking about the people that are getting sick and are dying. I'm thinking about the people that are sick and dying and trying to stay alive by whatever means. At the moment, folks, people chose in their choose and chose to lose, some of them. Some are still choosing and still losing. And hoping that certain medicines will suffice. But in the long run, folks, I fear the worst. I do. This thing is as personal as anything can get now, folks. I'm thinking about the people that were told and that listened and then ignored. I'm thinking about the people that chose not to listen. I had nowhere to run, I had nowhere to hide from this stuff, so I never did, Debbie never did. We faced this head on in our defiance. We stood up against it, rallied against it, riled against it, folks. Spoke out against it, published books against it. All of these troubling things that have taken place, folks, over the past however many years it is now, folks. Some of us have been speaking out a little bit longer than the scamdemic. Some of us have been speaking out for most of their adult life. Myself and Debbie personally since 2011. We think about the family members, the loved ones that went through and didn't come through. We're thinking about the family members that went through and came through, but are now going through other things. I'm trying to be careful what I say, folks, but it's a weird day for me and Debbie today. Really weird. And we've tried our best. You know, certain things are beyond our help. Certain things are beyond us. Certain people are beyond our help. Certain people are beyond us. They've gone off into their yonder to do their own thing and live their own lives and choose to do things their own way in their defiance. And lost their reliance on us. Well, that's all part of growing up, innit, folks? And they've chose to place their reliance on a science that places itself solely at the mercy of defiance. I don't know what else to fucking say. I don't. But I'm confident in myself. I'm comfortable in the shoes that I walk in, folks. Despite the fact that we shouldn't be wearing shoes at all, but there it is. I'm just having a think. I'm just having a quiet whinge and a moan and a quiet upset half hour where if I need to loose a few tears then no one sees. No one else gets upset but me. But then I suspect Debbie's at home doing the same thing. Yeah. Things are not too good at the moment, folks, for certain family members. But despite the fact that me and Debbie are who we are, we still care. We still love the family members. We still give a shit. We still offer as much support as we can do in the circumstances. And I just wish that we could live the way we're meant to live, and we don't, sadly, folks. I think we've gone beyond ever going back, because, you know, there's no going back to what we don't know we had. Truthfully, folks, we don't. We've been lied to that much about things, about our past, that we can't possibly know. We're told that things were terrible in the past. And if you believe those things, then there's no going back. There's no going back to the times when children were working at the age 5. There's no going back to the constant pandemics and diseases and the death and the wars and all the rest of it. Because that's what we're told happened in the past. Despite the fact that when I look back through certain search engines, folks, I can find a time when things were great, when things were marvellous, when things were wonderful, when things and people thrived and were truly alive. And the talent and the art and the architecture was just stunning, mind-blowing, unbelievable stuff that we can't reproduce now. We can try and replicate, but poorly imitate at best. And yet we're told all them things were done at a time when we had no machinery, when there was no money and everyone was poor and everyone was in slavery, despite the fact these buildings and these effigies and all the rest of it were stunning and beautiful. You know, how would you ever dream to get millions of slaves to do all that stuff? Yet we're told that slavery was the way these things were produced, and I don't believe any of that, folks. You look at the pyramids and how exact and precise these things are, and we're told that, you know, a few hundred captors held 1 million slaves captive and forced these people to build these structures whilst they nourished them on bread and water. None of it adds up. None of it stacks up. And then we look at these churches from 200, 300, 400, 500 years ago, folks. Absolutely mind-boggling, yeah? With the free energy systems that they had. And yet we're told they had no cranes to lift these huge stones in position. We're told they had no roads, no powered vehicles, no haulage as such. And yet these things exist in abundance, folks. So I think about Everything. You've got to do. You can't ignore. Let me just go and see what this fucking thing's eating now. Oi! Oi! Lad, leave them pellets alone. Come. Come on. Lad, come on. Come. That way. Go. Come on. They're making me shout at him now. What he's doing is he's feeding on these pellets that are for the cows to bulk them up. Yeah, full of growth hormones and all that crap. Go. And you can see he's 3 stone. We've tried for years to get the weight off him. We got about £2 off him. But we can never seem to get any more off him, no matter how cruel we are with his diet. But then we're out. And if he's not feasting on grass, he's feasting on these pellets that are spilt from the wagon that takes them up. In the machine bucket, about a ton and a half of them a time. And they spill out of the bucket so they hit these undulations in the road. And all the dogs eat them, and all the neighbours think, oh, it's a free meal for the dogs. They've no idea what the dogs are eating. I don't know. Right, come on. Keep going. So, you know, have a think. Folks, it's time to get your common sense into gear and think about every single thing that you're told. Think about every single thing you see. Think about every single person that you know. Think about the illness and the death and the sickness. Think about the treatments. Weigh it all up. Think. And then do your research. Everything is upside down in a topsy-turvy world, folks. And here he is again, eating them again. Lad, come on. And we're going to get home now. He's going to be sitting in the kitchen expecting his meal. Come on. You've spent half an hour now just picking things up. That's got to be a meal in itself, lad. Get in front of me now where I can see what you're doing now. Come on, go. Come on, you're making me shout at you now. Go on. Keep going. The fucking nuisance at times he is. The pain in the arse. Go on. Go on, lad. Keep going. Look at you wobbling. If you were a human being, you'd be classed as morbidly obese, dog. Although you've got no lymphedemias yet to add to the fucking bulk. He knows I love him. So, I've got to try and sow some grasses now from the edge of the field here for the guinea pigs, and that's it. I've had enough now. Enough talking. Just trying to encourage people now to stay alert, basically. That's it. There's nothing else I can offer anyone anymore. There's no advice I can give anyone. People constantly ask me how they can detox from all this shit that they've had, all this shit that they're eating, all this shit that they're drinking, all this shit in the air. And it's pointless, folks. It truly is. My common sense tells me I want to detox. I'd love for someone to come to me and say, yeah, this is how you get it out your system, yeah? And to believe me, I have tried to stay healthy. And I believe I am healthy. I'm still fit for 63 years old or whatever it is I am this year. I eat the right things. I don't overeat. I certainly don't drink alcohol. The odd Guinness if you go out for a meal. But I don't know. I've lost my train of thought now. What I was going to say. There was a point to the last bit there before I switch off. You know, if I have any, that's it. If I have any advice to anyone, it's to just try and survive as best you can. There's no detoxing from something that you're constantly breathing in, folks. I'd love to be able to detox from the aluminium oxides, from the graphene oxide that becomes hydroxide in the body, from the glyphosate that's spread everywhere, from the poisons in the air and the food, but it's impossible. It's impossible because it's constant, it's non-stop. The cadmium, the lithium, every single breath we take, it's in. And it just seems pointless to even make the effort to me to detox from something that you're not going to detox fully from. I can't stop going out and breathing this in because it's in the home. You know, there's no avoiding it. That's the point I wanted to make, folks. Just try and stay healthy somehow. Don't overdo it with the keep fit. You know, if I could stay in the house forever, I wouldn't want to do, yeah. But if somebody told me that it would help with my health, I'd give it a go. If somebody told me certain detox systems were going to detox me and keep me detoxed permanently, then, but that's impossible. That's impossible. As fast as you detox, you are becoming toxic again, folks. But I think the secret is to stay away from the health providers, from the hospitals, from the dentists, you know, wherever possible, folks. Stay away from the medication and the jabs, especially, yeah? That's it. But I get asked all the time how I detox, and I don't detox. You know, I take the best supplements that I can buy, the best vitamins like vitamin B17. I take magnesium, the best magnesium, not the cheap shit. I take the best selenium. I take the best vitamin D, etc. And as much as I can filter the water gets filtered, especially the stuff that we consume orally. And I take no medication whatsoever. None. I don't take any painkillers because I don't get headaches. I don't succumb to any of these toxicities that people call colds and flu. I don't get them, folks. And I don't stay away from people neither. I don't refuse to handshake, although perhaps I should. But I only have a tiny family anyway. And no friends whatsoever, folks. None. And that's partly by my choosing, really. Well, in fact, it's fully by my choosing. I don't choose or covet friends at all. I'm not interested. I'm interested in people getting on with their lives and being as safe as they possibly can be, yeah? And helping them if possible. But I can do that from afar. I can do that for how I do it, yeah? Especially the people of the future. I think about them every moment of the day, folks, which is why I do what I do, because there has to be a future. Yeah. I'm not going to be in this future, obviously, but I'm going to make sure that there is one. I kid ye not. Right, come on, let's fill this bag with goodies for the guinea pigs. And then go and see our Debs.